Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel and welcome to airbrushing freehand. What is it? What is freehand airbrushing? You see videos of people going, oh, this is all freehand. How I look at freehand airbrushing is you would either go in straight off the bat and look at a reference and paint it straight away. That's how I'd sort of look at freehand, where you're not using any other tools other than just the airbrush. You're just going straight in with your airbrush and your colours and your painting. Or freehand, where you've got like a very faint outline and you just go straight in again. You've got something just to follow, but you are working the brush freehand. You're not using shields, you're not using masking, texture stencils and things like that. You're just going straight in and doing freehand. Now yesterday I did a class and it was on a pair of boots, and I did this all freehand. There was no shields, masking or anything, just went straight in with the brush and smashed the boots out. Now when the client came in to do this picture, because he'd picked a pair of boots to do, I was going to use shields. I was going to go around this and use shields with him and show him how to sharpen the edges up, and I thought, no, he's done a couple of classes, he knows how to use shields, let's put the shields down, no masking, and we're going to get him to do it freehand. And I just want to see what his freehanding airbrush ability was like. And this is where you see people when they paint with their stencils and they're just sort of holding them and moving back and puffing a bit of paint in, and you're sort of using these tools to give you them sharp edges and things like that. When you start learning freehand and you go straight in, you've got to get the brush to create them sharp edges and keep it as tight as possible, but just work it with the trigger. So painting this yesterday was really good. Just enjoyed it because I wasn't using any other tools, just going straight in, a few colours and paint it. And watching the student do that as well, it really sort of homing his skills in on his freehand, and I think that's what he needs to pick up on next, is his freehand, because working with shields, he can do that. He can do the masking, he can do the pin lining, you know, where you're putting all these different things on a piece of paper and you're just spraying around it, you're filling in the gaps. Working in freehand's a lot more involvement on the trigger. You're really working that trigger from right up close, doing tiny little lines, to backing off and doing broader lines and things like that. And you're not relying on shields, masking and other things. So they were done freehand yesterday and I really enjoyed it, just getting in, very faint outline to go on and just paint. So I've got another piece here today. I've very lightly penciled it out, and it's a girl figure skating, like a cartoon character figure skating. So it's got some soft edges, it's got some sharp bits on there, but we're going to just do this freehand. It's a couple of colours. We've got a FW mix, like a grey black thinned out, and I've got a turquoise mixed with a little bit of black grey and a little bit of green in it, just to change it up a bit, because the actual colour on this scarf on the picture is that sort of tone. So I've just sort of mixed it off the cuff, chuck a bit of paint in, and away you go. Don't stress too much about your colours and getting your colours absolutely spot on, trying to mirror match, colour match everything perfectly, because it's like you'll just get a headache. You're just doing a bit of freehand painting. Grab yourself a couple of colours, pick an easy sort of picture that's got soft edges and it's got some sharp edges, just to give you a little test and see how good you are on your trigger. So we'll move in. I'll do this live. We'll just paint it freehand and I'll tell you some little tips along the way. Right guys, first thing is get your paint flow nice. FW inks, we've got like a black grey mix in here, and we're just going to go in and start on the eyes. Just work this in. Just getting to grips with the trigger because it's cold in here. So I'll speed up as soon as I get warmed up. Just going in light and just following the shapes. I'll try and paint this as quick as I can. So minimal trigger. And this gets you really honed in on your little tiny dagger strokes that you got to do, and we'll pop the highlights out a little bit later. Just working this in a bit. Just work down onto the mouth, just get a little bit more on this nose. Drop some of this shadow in here. Here. It's just looking at your reference and using the distance on your brush to either create a nice darker line when you're going right up close, or soften it by backing off. just build it up. That's all you gotta do. Just build it up. Trying to hit your lines the best you can. Until this paint is really thin. I'm getting a little bit of spidering with the pressure. Might just drop the pressure down a bit. Like that. A few little textures in here. Just literally got the trigger to a set amount and just move the brush. Minimal paint and then just move the brush backwards and forwards to create that texture. It just softens out there, like that. Back off with the brush, create that fogged out pattern. That'll do for that. Got a couple of bits coming off here. Move down to this piece. And just back off with your brush. Like that, we'll have a little bit of that going that way. Like that, down here. Let's get this other hand in. You're not worrying about sharp edges on this bit, you just creating that blurred look, so you're just backing off, minimal paint. There's some little speed lines coming off that. Do the gets you working your trigger. Can darken these up in a minute. A little bit on the shoe. that. Dark around this edge. Got all that bit in, that bit in. Put a bit more down here. We can just start to darken things out now. Just getting your distances, moving in and out on your distances. And flicking with a brush. Like that. Right, so just building it up and just darkening bits off where we need to put it a bit darker. Do a little bit more around there, a bit there, a little bit darker around here. Right, we'll spot the colour up and get the other colour in. Let's clean that out. Drop some of the other colour in. A little bit up here. Like that. A little bit in here. Down here. Like that. Then we'll drop a little bit of black into that mix, darken it off. Like that. In there. Right, just clean that through, drop the black back in, go back in on the black. Just darken up some areas. On this bit, just darken this a little bit. Like that. Like that. bit darker in places. Nice and loose. Like that. Change up the colour again, just need to get a little bit more of that turquoise type colour in there. Drop a bit in there. A little bit on these. A little bit here. Like that. And we're done. Nice and free-handed in. Just we can keep working now. I can start darkening more and more bits off. But that's just straight in freehand and just enjoyable, guys. That's what you got to do. Just have a little play, practice going up close and trying the techniques to get the soft and the sharps where you need them. Just gets you homing in on your skills. Do a little bit of dotted texture type there, just a little bit. A bit darker here. Like that. That'll do. There we go. We'll just drop some highlights in on the eyes. Posca paint pen. Couple of bits on the teeth. A bit on the bottom there. A bit there. A little bit. On that. There we go. All done. There you go, guys. We've got it down. Freezing in the studio. It is 6 degrees in here, so it's really cold. So when you got your finger on top of a metal airbrush trigger, your finger feels like you're just putting on an ice cube. So it's really cold. So speed-wise, I didn't go as fast as I should have done because I'm not warm. It's like very cold. But we got it down freehand, and that's what I mean by sort of freehand. You go straight in. Gets you sort of homing in really good on your trigger and being able to go right up close to create that tight line, to move back to create the soft shading. It's just a good thing to have a go at, guys. Pick yourself a simple picture like that. It's not too detailed, not too challenging. It's about A4 sort of size, and just go in freehand and give it a go. If you've got very light pencil outlines that you can see, you can then just go in and just knock the leftover ones out the way, like that. And this will erase back on this as well. And you can just clean some bits up, not a problem. And take some of the little lines out. But a good one to practice, guys. Give it a go. Low pressure, thin paint, going in freehand. So thanks for watching. I hope you've picked some little tips along the way, and drop your comments, tell me your thoughts. If you're liking the content, click that subscribe, press that notification so you don't miss out on the next up and coming video on Dred Custom Paint, and I will see you lot in the next one. Cheers, thanks for watching, guys.